Hello and welcome back to the Green Workbench. This video is a little bit different than my other videos. You may have watched me talk about my other career as an author. So I've combined my Green Workbench with my writing, and I've created this workbench that I think you'll love. So let me walk you through it and why I created it. This is the to-do list project journal for the handy husband. So anytime my wife or my kids come up to me and said, "Hey, this is broken," or "Hey, we need to do this," or "You need to fix this," or "This is a project you should do," my response is always, "It's on the list." In quotes, the list. Where is this so-called list? Well, it's just in my head, and it's just a way for me to say, "I know, I'll get it done when I get to it," right? We all have this to-do list of things we want to get done, and things that we need to get done, and things that our spouse wants us to get done, and it's just endless. So this journal is a way to keep track of that, but also to help us as we do these projects. So let's walk it through. And it's also fun. So our to-do list. We start out when you come up with a project that, and let's be honest, this is going to be the list of projects that your wife wants you to do. You write them down, put them in order. It's on my list. It's down there at number 10, right? Second page, my want to do list. This is the list of stuff you want to do. This is that built-in smoker on your deck. This is wiring the deck for an outdoor TV, the stuff you want. So you've got these two lists, and now you've got to decide what to work on, where to spend your time. So this is how they all work. You've got project 1. You have the name of your project, building the back deck, TV on the back deck, landscaping the front yard. Short description. You can write here, just right here in this book, what it is. Now, these are some question and answers. There's some fun ones here. Your wife's estimated cost, your wife's estimated time frame. She always thinks it can be done in 2 days when it'll actually take 2 weeks. Which one of you actually gets the cost right? Are you more realistic, or is she? Are you the guy that says, "Oh, I can do that for $100," and then it ends up costing you $5? Do you actually know what you're doing? Or are you going to have to watch a lot of YouTube videos? There you get to guess. So these are fun things to kind of laugh over after you finish with a project, because you write these in before you get to it. And then this is the most important one here. Which new tools must you buy to complete this job? Because there's no point in doing a new project if you don't get to buy a new tool that you just have to have for that project, right? I mean, that's the whole point of having projects. So, and then just, odds that you're going to injure yourself, just kind of fun stuff here, but it also keeps you in check because you're able to put down your estimated cost and time frame and kind of keep track of that. Next, you've got materials, stuff that you have on hand. Do you already have the wood on hand? Do you have the screws? Do you have the glue? Do you have the conduit? Whatever you need, and what are the materials that you need to buy? So you can start kind of estimating how much it's going to cost. Now, these are where you sketch the project or parts or whole. Like I'll sketch a joint as if I'm building something, or if I just kind of need to keep it in my head, I'll want to sketch it out. So the problem is I usually use scrap pieces of paper and they end up all over the place. Or I'll use a board, like the board that's sitting in front of me. And worst case scenario, I'll use the top of my workbench and draw on it. So this is a way where you can put your project sketches right here in the book and keep it with everything else. Other thing I always do is measurements, especially if you're working on something, say, in the house, yet your tools are all out, your saw is out in the garage, right? And you don't want sawdust all over your house, so you measure something and then you go out and cut it. Well, if you're anything like me, you take the measurements, you walk out to the garage, you walk through the garage door, and there's some magical force field that wipes that measurement from your brain as soon as you walk into the garage. So you have to go back, measure it again. This time you grab a piece of scrap paper and you write the measurement down on the scrap paper and you go back out to the garage. And throughout the project, you have all these pieces of scrap paper. You lose them, you put them in your pocket, they get washed, they get thrown away, they drop. Here you can you can just write every time you need to make a new cut, you have a new measurement, just write it here, all down here in the list. You can continue your measurements here, or this is after you finish your project, if you would like to kind of jot down some notes of lessons learned, things that you'll do differently next time. Just any notes that you might have about the project, or it can be used as spillover for your measurements and sketches, etc. And the next project 2. And the book goes through 12 projects with the same steps, so you can keep them all in one place. The book is small enough to fit in your tool belt and even probably your back pocket. And then you'll have a record of these projects also in the future. I put this in the back because there's always some funny things that happen where you cut it too short, or you got the angle wrong and you turned what's supposed to be I built a pentagon shaped shadow box once, and I did the angles wrong and the measurements wrong, and it turned out to be this massive thing, so I had to redo all the angles. Or the time when that board kicked back out of the table saw and you ended up going and getting stitches. Just memories that, in the future, when you're looking back and you pull this project book out of a box to kind of reminisce, there's these funny stories that you'll remember, or your kids can remember as they go through it. And then this is the page where every time that your wife was right about something and you were wrong, you have to list it. So there's 12 projects, but only 10 times that you're wrong. So, see what happens there. But then you can present this to her at the end as a gift. This is your apology for being wrong and your admission that she was right. Couple references on measurements, not a ton, but a couple. Any conversions that you had to figure out as you go, wire gauges, measurement conversions, anything so that you will have them in the future. Your kind of safety reminders. And now that you've finished, you've gotten to the end, it's time to get a new copy and start over again. So this is the Green Workbench to-do list, something that I'm going to start using. I just got my copy of it. You can purchase it on Amazon. I'll put a link below. Author is the Green Workbench, and just look under the to-do list, a project journal for the handy husband. So also in the comments, do you think I should make one for I'll have to come up with a fun word that works for it, but for a handy wife as well. So do you think I should brand one for husband and one for wives? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll check this out and it'll become a valuable part of your to-do list. And I'll see you next time on the Green Workbench.